So we find this comfortable seated position on the mat, sitting with the tall spine. Taking a moment to settle onto your mat and let go of anything else that's happening today. Becoming aware of any physical tension you might be holding. See if you can soften into it. Bring your focus onto a natural breath. Start to observe the quality of your breath. Feel the weight down through the sitting bones and allow that breath to deepen. Here we're going to introduce our Ujjayi breath. We're going to inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 8 counts. And then keeping your Ujjayi breath, just find a comfortable breathing pattern. So an equal inhale and exhale. So we're going to bring the hands to rest on the knees, palms facing down. We move into our Sufi grind. I want you to really focus on this movement of the rib cage. So trying to picture, you've got the hips at the bottom, the spine coming up like this central column. And I want you to almost try and circle the rib cage around the spine. So we're starting to keep the movements quite small and localized in this upper back area. We're going to start the movements clockwise. So as you inhale, pushing the chest forwards. Exhaling, pushing the rib cage to the right and then back. Inhaling left and forwards. They can be small movements, they can be big movements, but really isolating this rib cage. You're trying to circle the ribs around the hips, around the spine. Gradually allowing this movement to expand and get bigger. But again, getting even bigger for the last few breaths. Maybe you can sweep your tummy across the thighs, coming right the way forwards. And then finishing the circle that you're on, coming back to the center. So we're going to move anti-clockwise again, starting small with this small articulation of the ribs. So inhaling, pushing the chest forwards. Exhaling, circling to the left and back. With small movements of the rib cage, inhaling right and forwards. And then listening to your body, if you want to make the circles bigger, start to make them a little bit bigger. And see if you can make them even bigger, listening to your body as you move. And these last few breaths as big as you can. And maybe the tummy sweeps across the thighs. And finishing the circle that you're on, coming back to the center. Back to your natural breath or your Ujjayi breath. And keeping your gaze low, gently opening your eyes. Come forwards onto all fours. You're going to bring the knees and the feet together and extend back into a child's pose. So the tummy resting onto the thighs. Lynn, if you find this is too much pressure and it makes your tooth hurt, take the knees wide so you're not putting too much pressure on. Extending your arms out in front, just allowing the head to hang down. So a few full breaths into the back body, pushing the sitting bones back towards the heels, stretching the hands forwards. And keeping this connection to your breath. So on your next inhale, you're going to come up to sitting and extend the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, circling the hands back behind you and placing them on the mat with the fingertips pointing backwards. Inhaling, opening the heart and lifting the gaze towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, coming forwards to your child's pose. And one more like this. Inhaling, taking the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the spine. Keeping that length as you exhale, circle the hands back behind you, fingertips to the mat. Inhaling, opening the heart, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, coming forwards into your child's pose. Good. So now we make the movements a little bit bigger. On your inhale, coming up onto your knees, taking the arms up to the ceiling. As you exhale, circling the hands back behind you, sit to your heels, bring the hands to the mat. On the inhale, opening the heart, and this time push the hips forward, so coming into a gentle camel pose. And on the exhale, sit back to your heels and come forwards into your child's pose. So a couple more times slowly. Inhaling, coming up to the knees, take the arms up to the ceiling. Exhaling, circle the hands back, sit to your heels. Inhaling, pressing into the hands, push the hips forwards, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhaling back into child's pose. The last one. Inhaling, coming up, take the arms up to the ceiling. Exhaling, sit back down, hands to the mat. Inhaling, opening the heart, push the hips forwards, gentle camel. Exhaling forwards to child's pose. And hold it here for a couple of breaths. And then come up to all fours. So from all fours, we're going to step the right foot forwards between the hands. We're going to have a 90-degree angle in both knees. And then coming up. So we're going to extend the right arm down by the side. On your inhale, taking your left arm up towards the ceiling. And we're going to be holding this, so lengthening down through the tailbone. On the exhale, reaching over to the right side and hold it here for 10 breaths. If you want to, you can turn your gaze up towards the top hand. Keep lengthening down through the tailbone. Breathe into that side stretch. So we're allowing this right side to soften. That left side opening up. Inhaling, coming back up to the center. So now we're going to place the left hand onto the mat or onto the floor alongside the left knee. And on the inhale, taking the right arm up, and exhaling, take the right arm over. So again, we let this left side soften. Find this stretch through the right side. I have a wall in the way. And breathe into the stretch. Keep reaching through that right hand. So we're really stretching into the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Opening up this whole right side of the body. And then inhaling, coming back up to the center. Lowering the hands to the mat and step back to all fours. Good. So take a little cat-cow here. Really feeling into the spine as you move. And then coming back to a tabletop. So we're going to step the left foot between the hands. And then coming up. So here, extending the left arm down by the side. Inhaling, take the right arm up. And on the exhale, bending over to the left side. Good. Breathe into this stretch. Allow that left side body to soften. Keeping a connection to your breath as you inhale, coming back up. And then lowering the right hand to the mat alongside the right knee. On the next inhale, taking the left arm up. And as you exhale, taking it over. And allowing the right side of the waist to soften. That left side to open up. Keep reaching through the left arm. Find more length, lengthening through the tailbone. Full deep breath. And on your inhale, coming back up. Lowering your hands to the mat. Step back to all fours. Again, taking a little cat-cow. Good, and coming back into your tabletop. Walk your hands forward a hand's length on the mat. Tuck the toes under and stretch back to your downward dog. So holding this for 10 steady breaths. Breathe into the bits that feel tight. If you can be still and allow that tightness to release with the exhale. And keeping active through the hands. Breathing the length of the spine. Releasing any tension from the neck. Finding a little inner smile. Good. And then take your gaze forwards between your hands and walk or step to the top of the mat, coming into Uttanasana. Good. Pressing down into the feet. As you inhale, rise up to standing. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. So bring your arms down by your side in Tadasana. Coming back to your Ujjayi breath if it's got lost somewhere. So here, inhaling in Tadasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, step the right foot back. Lower the knee down, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, step back into your plank. Inhaling, lowering the knees down. Exhaling, chest then chin. Inhale, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, push back to downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards. Coming into your flat back. Exhale, folding down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, into Tadasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, taking the left foot back, lower the knee down, lifting the gaze, push the chest forward. Exhaling, step back to your plank. Inhaling, lower the knees down. Exhaling, chest then chin. Inhaling, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, push back to downward dog. Inhaling, step forward. So we're going to come into our flat back. So lengthen the spine. Exhaling, folding down Uttanasana. Keep that length as you fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhale into Tadasana and come back to your breath. Again, inhaling into Tadasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold to Uttanasana. Inhaling, step the right foot back, lower the knee down, lift the gaze, push the chest forwards. Exhaling, step back to your plank. Inhaling, lowering the knees down. Exhaling, chest then chin. Inhale, lifting to cobra, push the chest forwards. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step forward. Again, lifting into this flat back. So have a little bend in your knees if you need to get the length. Keep that length as you exhale and forward fold to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling into Tadasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale and forward fold to Uttanasana, so lengthening as you fold. Inhaling, step the left foot back, lower the knee down, lift the gaze, pushing the chest forwards. Exhaling, step back into your plank. Inhaling the knees down. Exhaling, chest then chin. So get the elbows pointing back. Inhaling, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards. Again, lengthen into this flat back. So really tilting from the sitting bones. Get as much length as you can. On the exhale, folding down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhale into Tadasana and come back to your breath. So standing with the feet hip distance and parallel. Inhale into Tadasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana and lengthen through the spine. Exhale and forward fold. Inhaling, step the right foot back. Lower the knee down and take the arms up, Ananjayasana. So finding that gentle back bend. Exhaling, lowering your hands down, step back to your plank. Inhaling the knees down. Exhaling, chest then chin. Inhaling, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back and finding more length. Keep that length as you exhale and fold. Bend your knees on your inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Feel the back muscles here. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. Inhale into Tadasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, step the left foot back, lower the knee to the mat, take the arms up, and finding that gentle extension of the spine. Exhaling, lowering your hands down, step back to your plank. Inhaling the knees down. Exhaling, chest and chin. Inhale, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, push back to downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Find that extra length through the spine. Exhaling, fold down Uttanasana. Allow the spine to round, the head to hang. Bend your knees on your inhale and sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. Bring your arms down by your side in Tadasana. Come back to your breath. So we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. And then step wide. Take a nice wide stance. Good. So turning the right toes out. Angie's already ahead of the game. And the left toes in slightly. Making sure that front heel is in line with the middle arch of the back foot. And then really pulling up through the midline. Inhaling, taking the arms up to shoulder height. Turn the gaze over the middle right finger. And as you exhale, bend the right knee, coming down into Virabhadrasana 2. So keep power through both legs. Really lengthening down through the tailbone. Softening down into that front leg. And breathe. Each inhale lengthening up through the crown of the head, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Just a couple more breaths. Good. And then straightening the front leg. Lower the arms down by your side. Turn the toes to face the other direction. Good. So just checking the alignment of the feet. So Angie, turn that back foot in slightly. Yeah. Good. And then taking the arms up to shoulder height. On the exhale, bending the front knee, coming down into your warrior two. So gaze over the middle left finger. Using that breath as you inhale to lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale to soften. Wherever it feels a bit tight and grippy, for me, definitely the left hip. See if you can soften into that. Keep pushing into this back foot, drawing that energy back up the legs. Especially if you're feeling that energy condensing or grouping in one space. See if you can really use the feet and the hands, reaching fingertip to fingertip, to really start to stretch out that energy through the body. So Lynn, you can come into a slightly shorter stance, bringing that front foot back just a couple of inches. And then bend the knee. Yeah, good. Last couple of breaths. Good. And then straightening the front leg. Turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. And you can either step or jump the feet together and come into Tadasana. Again, gaze low, coming back to your breath. Good. So we're going to step the feet wide, but not quite as wide. So just a short width, wider than hip distance or slightly wider than shoulder distance. This is a nice, easy transition into Ardha Chandrasana, so our half moon pose. And here we're going to be working to get the hips staying stacked one on top of the other. So the line they're in at the moment, you might need to have this front leg turned in very slightly. It depends on the rotation of your hips, really. So listen to your body, see what it's up to. So we're going to turn the right toes out, traditionally to 90 degrees. See if you can take that foot to 90 degrees and find that external rotation, really working on it through the right thigh. Taking the arms out to the side, shoulder height. Turn the gaze over the middle right finger. We're going to turn the palms of the hands to face forwards, keeping the gaze over towards that right finger. So lengthen fingertip to fingertip. Transfer the weight onto the right foot and flex the left foot. So we stay in exactly this position. We just hinge from this right hip. Taking a nice deep breath in. Slowly start to release down towards the floor. You can use your drishti, your gaze, on the floor to find a nice steady point to work to. Keeping this back foot nice and flexed, reaching up through that top arm. Good. Last couple of breaths. Do it with a slightly bent knee if you need to, Angie. Yeah, if it's tweaky. On your inhale, slowly coming back up into Tadasana. Arms down by your side and come back to your breath. Yeah, if it's funny on your knees, Angie, just have a little bend. Put the little bend into them. There's no point straining them. Lynn, did you get to the floor, or I couldn't quite see? You went off. No. Good balancing. So turning the left toes out. That slightly wider stance. Take the arms out to the side. Have the palms facing forwards and turning the gaze over the left hand. So pulling up through the midline, transfer the weight to the left foot and flex the right foot. And then slowly we're keeping this position and just hinging from this left hip, working our way down towards the floor. Doesn't matter if you don't reach the floor. Working on keeping that right hip stacked on top of the left hip. The same with the shoulders. So use your hands, reach from fingertip to fingertip. Good, and keep breathing. Good, so Angie, lift up through the inner arches of your feet. See if you can lift your toes back. So just to protect the knee a little. Good, on your inhale. Slowly coming up. Angie, give it another go if you want. Good, and then coming back into Tadasana. And taking your gaze to the floor and come back to your breath. So from here, come down to sitting on the mat. We're going to be extending the right leg out and then bending the left knee and allowing that left knee to fall out to the side. So the sole of the left foot onto the inside of the right leg. Bring the hands alongside the hips. So gently pressing into your fingertips, sit up nice and tall. Get that nice length through the spine. And then taking just a tiny little twist to face the right leg. So you can keep your right hand onto the mat alongside the right hip as you inhale, taking the left arm up. And on your exhale, folding forwards over the right leg. And we're going to hold it here. So coming back to your breath. And finding that length of the spine. See if you can inhale and get a little bit more length through the front body. Take the gaze to the front foot, that right foot. Good, last couple of breaths. If you can find a little bit more release. And then on your inhale, come up to sitting. So we're going to stay on this leg and we're going to twist to face the left knee. So you might need to adjust your seat very slightly. Take the right hand onto the inside of the right leg and really press the back of the hand into the inside of the leg to really help with that twisting of the body. On your inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling, lengthening up through the side body. So Angie, twist more to face the left knee. Yes. And then on the exhale, reaching over towards the right foot. So you're taking that right arm down the inside of the right leg and reaching that left arm, maybe just taking it up towards the sky. Just nice stretch through the left side. If it can reach across towards the foot, you can take the foot. Keep breathing into the stretch. So Angie, take the left arm back. Yeah. You've got to come up and over your head. If only it was as easy as the other way. Keep breathing into this stretch. Just holding for a couple more breaths. Can you get a little bit more length? Push the left sitting bone down. Reach through that left hand. And then inhaling, come back up to sitting. And then let's straighten the left leg and bring the right foot in. Good. So turning to face the left leg. Place that left hand down to the mat alongside the left hip. Flex the foot back on the left foot. Inhaling, taking the right arm up. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Can work with the breath. So use your breath to find length and space. Good. Lynn, see if you can find a little bit more twist through the rib cage. Yeah. And then breathing length into this. You can feel your body move with the breath. That expansion and softening. And holding for the last couple of breaths. And on your inhale, slowly coming back up to sitting. And then let's take a little twist to face the right knee. So placing the left hand onto the inside of the left leg, palm facing inwards. Inhaling, taking the right arm up. And as you exhale, reaching over towards the left foot. So keeping this right arm back alongside the right ear. Really, we're looking to lengthen the right side body. And sitting up nice and tall. Good. Reach through that top arm. Good. Last couple of breaths. And then on your inhale, coming up to sitting. Extending both legs out in front of you. And make your way to lying on your back. And have your knees bent with your feet flat to the mat. So bending or bringing the right ankle over the left knee. Lift up the left leg and take hold of the back of the thigh. Gently drawing that left knee back in towards the chest. So keep lengthening your spine down towards the mat. We're trying to keep the hips on the mat and gently drawing that knee in closer. And then releasing the back of the left leg. Place the left foot flat to the floor. Take the arms out to the side, shoulder height, the palms up. And on the exhale, lowering that right foot over to the left side. So coming down into your twist and turning your gaze in the opposite direction. Breathe into your twist. So on your inhale, coming back up to the center. And then change the cross of the legs. So you're placing the left ankle over the right knee. And then lifting up and taking hold of the back of the right leg. So gently pulling the right knee in towards the chest. Pushing that left knee away. And then releasing the right foot flat to the floor, taking the arms out to the side. And on the exhale, twisting over to the right side, so lowering that left foot flat to the floor, turning the gaze towards the left hand. And then on your inhale, come back up to the center. So uncrossing the legs. And from here, you can extend your legs and arms down and come into Shavasana. Or if you want to, you can come up to a seated position. This last few minutes coming into meditation, whichever you prefer, yogi's choice. So in Shavasana, just giving your fingers and toes a little wiggle. Start to come back into your body. Gently hug your knees in towards your chest. And doing a little rock from side to side. And roll over onto one side and come up to sitting. And bring your hands in front of your heart center into prayer. We'll close the class chanting 3 Oms together. So taking a nice deep breath in. Fully exhale. And inhale for Om. Gently bowing your head. Namaste.